Hello everyone, the real A-Town aka RGB Fox here, and today I want to discuss Tighnari, Genshin's new 5-star Dendro character. What I want to discuss is how good will Tighnari be, what kind of roles will he play in, what kind of team/teammates you want to pair him up with, as well as what equipment and stats you want to focus on for this new character. Before I dive in, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, as well as follow me on Twitch where I stream Genshin and other gaming content. When discussing Tighnari's viability in today's meta, we must talk about how good these new Dendro reactions are. As of right now, we know which reactions exist with Dendro and they're listed as Quicken, Bloom, and Burning. From these reactions, there are extra reactions based on what element you apply. If you add Electro to Quicken, you will proc Aggravate, and if you apply Dendro, you will proc Spread. For Bloom, if you add Electro to a Bloom reaction, you will proc Hyper Bloom, and if you add Pyro to Bloom, you will proc Virgin. Based on what we know from external sources, Aggravate, Spread, and Hyper Bloom seem to be the best as far as Dendro reactions go. Personally, I do believe Tighnari will fit good in a role for both on-field DPS for Aggravate Spread teams, and a quick swap role assuming you play him in a Hyper Bloom team. His numbers do leave a lot to be desired in terms of damage for his charge attack, burst, and elemental skill, but that doesn't mean that he will be without options for damage. As we know, Spread will increase the damage of Dendro attacks, and with the new Deepwood Memories artifact sets, dealing a ton of Dendro damage won't be a problem. Therefore, I believe Tighnari will be a great 5-star character to anyone's roster, as the other Dendro characters we receive in 3.0 seem to be decent at best. Another benefit for Tighnari is that he won't need to utilize Bennett unless you want to make use of burning/version reactions, but honestly, in my opinion, I don't think you should, as you'll take a lot of on-field damage despite the heals you receive. Tighnari's playstyle will roughly either be a main DPS or a quick swap DPS. It seems he'll be able to play that role pretty well, considering his charge attacks deal a good chunk of damage on field and his burst is a 40 energy cost skill on a 12-second cooldown. Depending on how much Dendro he applies, it should be more than enough to warrant his quick swap role. As a result, he'll definitely want weapons that'll increase his overall damage with solid crit stats, such as his signature weapon, Hunter's Path. It offers a solid amount of crit rate at 44.1% at level 90 with a decent base attack. The passive only further increases his damage by offering elemental damage bonus of 12% and increased charge attack damage based on the amount of his total EM. Since Dendro characters for the most part care about damage additives and crit more than attack and extra EM, this weapon is most definitely his best in slot for his two best roles. For artifacts, it is essential you utilize the Deepwood Memories artifact set, which will offer a 15% Dendro damage bonus for the 2-piece, and Dendro Res Shred of 30% that should be able to be refreshed after he uses his burst and skill over time. Many players won't be able to have either the weapon or the Deepwood artifact set with solid substats right off the bat, so some alternatives that I see for weapons can be the Amos Bow for the charge attack damage bonus, assuming he is on field, the Polar Star for the burst damage bonus as well as solid crit stat, the Aqua Simulacra for the insane crit damage plus overall damage bonus, and the Thundering Pulse for the crit stat. For more accessible / free-to-play options, the Viridescent Hunt can be a solid choice since you can easily grab it from the Battle Pass, the Stringless for the Elemental Mastery and the skills damage bonus, the Hamayumi for the charge attack damage bonus, and for a more quick swap role with teammates who have high energy cost, the Moon's Moon can be great. Of course, numbers and damage will be calculated as he comes out, but that's in my opinion what I think you want to work with him. As for artifacts, realistically, I can only name one alternative, and that is the Wonders Troupe set for the Elemental Mastery plus the charge attack damage bonus. Keep note that this set should only be used if you don't have a great Deepwood set, but ultimately the Deepwood set may still beat out the Wonders Troupe set if you're simply swapping out Tighnari constantly. Make sure to focus on crit substats, Elemental Mastery, Energy Recharge, and it's obvious that you'll eventually want a Dendro damage bonus cup when the time comes for it. For teams, I believe Aggravate / Spread teams will be in top contention for him as well as Hyper Bloom teams since any other teams don't seem to be as good. Knowing that, his best support should be Electro characters such as Fischl, Kuki, Yaimiko, and potentially Raiden, but I would refrain from using her with Tighnari or in any Dendro teams in general. For Hydra supports, only one comes to mind and that is Kokomi. Sure, Mona and Barbara can also apply off-field Hydro, but it isn't as consistent as Kokomi's Hydro application, but it can be used in a pinch. I would not recommend Ayato or Child since they want to stay on the field most of the time and potentially apply too much Hydro. Doing so may have you miss out on Bloom procs in the process, and characters like Yelan or Xingqiu require normal attacks to be used, so it'll be a DPS loss when you realize you have to add normal attacks in your rotation. Lastly, characters like Kazuha and Sucrose are going to be great additions to your team synergy as they'll be able to swirl and infuse their burst with Electro to continuously allow aggravate procs to happen. With their high EM stats, they'll be able to do a lot of off-field damage and have a good amount of damage increases for your Electro/Hydro characters. In aggravate teams alone, you won't need to worry about the double swirling since you can't swirl Dendro, and in the Hyper Bloom teams, they'll help you trigger Electro Charge, thus adding another layer of damage to your rotations. Venti can be great when dealing with hordes of small enemy mobs, but in general, I'd recommend the other two premier animal units with Kazuha taking the top spot. Honestly, with all the praise that I'd give to Dendro, one thing is certain. Tighnari is not a character that you have to pull for. We will have access to Dendro in 3.0 with a Traveler as well as Kale, as we'll be able to get a free copy of her in 3.0. If you absolutely love his design or can spare the Primos, go for it, and I wish you luck. With Zhongli having a rerun along with Ganyu and Kokomi in the same patch, he has a lot of competition when it comes to pulling a 5-star, especially Kokomi, as she will be able to be the best person to trigger Bloom. Nevertheless, that shouldn't discourage you from pulling him. I think Tighnari will have a solid placement in the meta and will without a doubt do well. But who knows? Future Dendro characters may overshadow him, so time will tell if he's a good investment. With all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for any future updates and discussions concerning Genshin Impact. Also, follow my Twitch at twitch.tv/rgbfox where I stream as regularly as possible. Thanks as always, have a good day, and if you have any ideas on how well you would build Tighnari, leave it in the comments below so we can have a discussion about it.